I think it is 11 o'clock or near enough to it for us to get started. So welcome everybody. I'm Tony Hansen. I am the president of the Dallas Genealogical Society, coming to you today from the Mecca of research, the Lloyd Rockstruck genealogy collection here at the J. Eric Johnson Dallas Public Library. So we're glad to have all of you here in person and those of you who have joined us online as well. Slides are working. That is good. So the meeting minutes were sent out as part of the email that went out. So you should have been able to click on them there. They're also always available on the website at the go to events and next general meeting, and you'll see, as I'm showing there, the March results as well. Are there any additions, corrections, or updates to the minutes as posted? All right, hearing none, we'll accept them. Thank you, Terry, our treasurer, our secretary, for that. I just want to point out too that on that meeting minute page that I'm showing there, we also have recordings from previous meetings. And so if you want to go back and see some of the presentations where the presenters have allowed us to post a recording, they are there for as long as they will permit it. This is a summary of our current financial situation, which is quite good. We've got just, I think, about $180,000 more or less cash on hand and CDs and various things. So we're in good shape and just waiting on the library to give us some good ideas of what to spend it on. So Stephanie, I see you're back there. Let us know. We are collecting nominations for our annual awards. Those will be presented at our May meeting, and there is a nominations page on the website. So again, you can go to events and then to annual awards. And when you click on that, you'll see that there's a variety of forms where you can nominate somebody. And we have dozens and dozens of people who work tirelessly on behalf of the society. So I expect to see 20 or 30 nominations at least. So make it hard for the nominating committee. We did have a very successful seminar here several weeks ago. And that's just some pictures of some of the festivities and activities that went on. I had a great time, and I just want to especially call out Sharon Bowles and Kim Edge and Pat Hernandez, and the other dozen or so volunteers that made it happen. We can't do this without our volunteers, and it was a great event, and we're really grateful to everybody who lent a hand for that too. So thank you all for making it successful and a lot of fun. Kim Edge and I went over to the Arlington, Texas State Family History Conference a couple of weeks ago. Had a lot of really, really good conversations there, particularly with that gentleman we're talking to there, but more on that later, a mystery guest here. I want to remind you that the Texas State Genealogical Society is having their annual conference in November, and they're looking for ideas for presentations. They're looking for speakers and papers. And so that's both for the general conference, and then they're having a Society Leadership Day on the day prior to that. So any of you that have any ideas about things you would like to submit, I'm sure they would love to hear from you. We have an active cemetery indexing project underway, and we're doing quite well with that. We're about a quarter of the way through it. We've got 40 some odd thousand records that we want to add information to, and we're moving right along. And I want to thank the people that you see listed up there. For the last 30 days, Susan Younger has been very active, about 400 records, and you can see that Heather Hall's our overall leader with 3,415 records as of this morning. So we've got some people that are doing some great stuff. We'd love to have more of them. I'd like to see that move a little bit quicker. And you can go to our website under events, get involved, and there's a link to a page there that will show you some recordings on just exactly how to do it. We'll get you signed up so you can access it, and you can see your name up in the lights next month, and you're the top leader too. Another project that has just been initiated is some work that's being done on the McGowan Funeral Home records. So these records, there's about, I think, 5,000 of them, were indexed by members of the African American interest group. They indexed 5,566 items several years ago. So that's an index we can go on and you can search through and find where in all the many boxes of stuff records are, and they're available back here in the private area back in the foyer, but you can pull those records and have a look at them. What they're doing now is they're going back through all those records and they're pulling out all of the funeral records and they're digitizing them and making them available. So these are going to be available on the library's recollections system, the new digital collection that the library is bringing online. They're also going to be linked onto our collection. So when you view that index again, we'll have links to those records and you can click on them and view them from there. So they've got about half a dozen of them done already. They're just getting the kinks worked out of the process, but expect to be seeing a lot more of those show up very soon. And why is that there? I thought I took that one out. Oh, that's there because that shows you how to get to the records. Okay, so if you go to, um, I just did this morning. You'd think I'd remember. Go to our collections, go down to local records, and you see that page. And down there in the corner, that link will take you to the McGowan records and all of the information that we have available there. I'd also like to point out that it will take you someplace else. So it'll show you someplace else. And that's this search all DGS records, which is brand new. We just put this up and it's pretty exciting. Clicking on that link will take you to a page that looks a lot like this. And you can put information in any of those fields, first name, last name, a location, or a date range, and hit enter or hit the search button, and you'll see a bunch of stuff. So I'm searching on Bennett, which is an old Texas name here. And when I search on it, the first thing that comes up is a bunch of cemetery records. So what this program has done is it's gone into our cemetery database and pulled out all the records that match on the name Bennett. If you scroll down, you see that we're also looking through our collection of Dallas County probate records. And again, it's found all of the records there where the name Bennett appears. We'll also go through the McGowan index that I mentioned earlier. And if it finds any matches there, it will reveal those. I'm tired of this. I'm a lot of clicking here. It's a lot of records. Marriage records, we've got a small collection of marriage records from the early years of Dallas. It's going to search those for you. Look through some death records that we have indexed through, again, the early periods of Dallas history. And we also have some civil marriage records, and we'll look for matches there. We have some tax records information as well. And so it's just going to go through and it just shows all this in one big page. And you can just scroll on down and see all the matches across all of the online databases that we have. In each case, below each record group, you'll see a link, and that will take you right to that page, and you can do a more in-depth search. This is kind of a high-level, what do we have type thing. And then last but not least, we'll also search through our collection of microfiche records. And in this case, we didn't have any match on that. But just to show you what does happen there, if you go back and do a new search and then put in this case, a location. So I just picked Norway. I don't know why it occurred to me, but it did. And so it actually found a few people that had a mention of that, some connection to Norway in the cemetery database. But the fun's down over in the fiche. So we have, so these are, how many records? We got 3,792 fiche records that the society has purchased over the years. We went back because we had all of the Word documents from the orders. Shirley still had all of that. She and I went together and we created a searchable database, and that's what we're going through and looking for. Now, the really cool thing about that is that you can also now click on that number there. That will take you over to the family search site where there is a record about what the information on that particular microfilm or microfiche is. And if you're really lucky, there'll be a clickable link down there that says they've already digitized it, and you can click on that and you can view the document from the comfort of your own home. So that one search thing reveals a lot of information, mainly some of the online stuff we have that's kind of, not as obvious on our website as we would like. And we hope this is going to make it a little more usable, a little more discoverable, and that you'll find a lot of rich information in those records. So go crazy. And again, that's all available on that local records page. As you know, we have a number of interest groups that are active and are going to be active over the summer. So again, you can go to our home, quickly our special interest groups, the calendar, and that will show you all of the upcoming meetings. So the African American group is meeting on the 19th at 2 p.m. on the 6th floor here at the library. Best practices group is meeting on the 26th here right on the 8th floor. And in May, the DNA group, they meet every other month. It's going to meet on the 15th. They'll be on the 6th floor. And the German group also on every other month event is going to be on May 10th, and they're on the 6th floor. We just had a really great seminar, but we got a couple more coming up. So mark your calendars for that. So Colleen Rolino Green is going to be here on July 26th, talking about tracing your Mexican ancestors on both sides of the border. And then Gina Filbert Ortega is going to be here on October 25th, and she's going to be talking about discovering more about your woman ancestors. So two really good topics, the two really good speakers, and hope to see all of you here then as well. I'm really happy to announce that we now have a slate of officers for the new board of directors. And even happier that my name is not on the, well, it is, but not there. So I'd like to announce the slate of elected officers. As you know, by our bylaws, we elect 3 positions, and then they appoint the rest. And so our nominating committee was Todd Dedecker, Kim Edge, Terry Turner, and myself. So thank you, nominating committee. I think we did a job we can all be proud of. So for secretary, we have nominated Chris Bryant. Actually, Chris volunteered. Chris is an electrical engineer, which I admire. That's my background. But he's also trying to make a living now out of becoming a professional genealogist and being a speaker. In fact, he's spoken here several times. He was here last September and then a little bit before that. In fact, that 2023 presentation is still the most viewed, most watched presentation of anything that we've had in modern times. So he's a really dynamic speaker, a really interesting person, and really a good talent. And I think it's just going to be really exciting to have him on the board. Vice President, we're going to have Nancy Pardo. Nancy is here in the room with us. Nancy is somebody, I was trying to figure out how long ago we met. Has it been 20 years at least? Nancy and I worked for AT&T at the time, and that's where our paths crossed. I had the great fortune to work for her and in her organization the last few years of my career as well. And she's, I'll tell you, AT&T was not an easy environment for a woman to be successful in. I think you would probably agree with me on that. And Nancy broke through the glass ceiling and was one of our upper level managers, and I loved working for her. And I'm really looking forward to working with you on the board. You bring great talents and a great personality. So thank you for accepting the nomination. The president online I saw earlier is Barry Kaplan Schweitzer. Now, Barry, you may know of as the executive director of the Dallas Jewish Historical Society. She is also an avid genealogist. She's very into adult education, and she's got great nonprofit management experience. And I'm just thrilled to have somebody with her talent and her expertise agreeing to step in and to help lead this organization. So to all three of you, thank you so much. It's hard to see my name up there. And I'm really happy to bring some fresh blood into the organization and excited about where we as an organization are going to go. So I think we can all look forward to a lot of great leadership coming up. That's right. The out ones will be there. Now, these people are appointed, but I'm going to go ahead and announce some people that have agreed that they're going to return. So Susan Rainwater is going to return as our Director of Finance. So Fleming is going to return as our Director of Information Technology. And you're stuck with me as your immediate past president. So that's going to make up the executive board. We will then, over the summer, appoint the rest of the people. I think you're going to see mostly familiar names there, but a few new ones too. But I'm really excited about the future of our organization. So good news. Next month, May 3rd, we're going to have Thomas McEntee here remotely again. He's going to be talking about artificial intelligence and how to use it to translate, transcribe, and summarizing documents. So it's a real up and coming, interesting topic. Thomas is very up on this stuff, and we're very grateful to him for being our speaker next month. We're going to be even more grateful for our tech team, Melissa and Todd and Paul Feather and Amy on the call, Betty back there doing our hospitality for us, and of course for the fabulous materials and support from the Dallas Public Library, which we're very grateful for. So thank you, library staff.